October Red Boxing here with Liam Smith. Liam Smith, thanks for taking the time to join us today. A nice presser, a bit icy up there. Looking forward to seeing the bout on the 9th of October against Anthony Fowler. Talk to us a little bit about that and how that fight came about.
Obviously the fight was spoke about, Eddie mentioned it, and offered me a fight and I listened, and it made sense for me at the moment. It's a big fight for Liverpool. It's a Scouse Derby, so it's a fight that I can get my teeth into. It's a fight I'll be bang up for.
We talk about a Scouse Derby. It's good that you're both headlining the card, both at home, bringing it home for your division. Anthony Fowler, you've mentioned a couple of times in the interview, the presser, about his age, about him being 30, about him having nowhere to go when he fights you, and you're looking to obviously get the win. Elaborate a bit on that, and why do you say nowhere to go?
I'm just thinking people are forgetting, people are making it sound like I'm I'm 32, there's no secret, I was 32 last week. But
happy birthday for last week.
But people are forgetting that, he's 30, it's a long road back for him to lose. He stepped up once before, he lost. I'm not fighting a 25-year-old prospect who set the world alight and he's now looking to step up. I'm fighting a 30-year-old fighter who's had 16 fights, been hot and cold throughout his career, lost when he stepped up once before. And people are just forgetting that because it's Anthony Fowler and because he's with Shane Rubigan and he's built a name for himself.
So then you talk about obviously him building a name for himself. He's coming off obviously a win recently. You had a questionable loss with Kurbanov off in Russia. Where do you go from this fight? What is next for you? Should you get that win?
Of course, I beat Anthony Fowler and I'm back on the path to where I wanted to be. I'm not going to mention names who I want next because I'm fully focused on Anthony Fowler, and that's what today was all about. I want to plant a seed that they think I'm overlooking you. You're in Liverpool. I'm the best 154 in Britain, and I'm here again to prove that. Never mind the best 154 in Liverpool. I'm here to prove I'm still the best. I'm still, that step ahead of you, and it's my job to prove that.
And knowing that you would have studied your opponent, what are you expecting Anthony Fowler to bring to this match?
Yeah, obviously he's got to bring a lot because it's the Scouse Derby. He's got to be bang up for himself. But he's got to also bring things he's never brought before. He's got to do something he's never done. Any Anthony Fowler in the past 16 fights, I beat Anthony. He's got to bring something he hasn't brought before. The confidence of doing that, so we'll see.
So how are you expecting this fight to turn out? Are you expecting a stoppage, KO?
Yeah, I think it'll be very competitive early doors. He's not a bad fighter. Obviously, I'm not saying he's a bad fighter. He's a good fighter. He does lots of things well, but I just think as soon as the fight settles down, it'll be hectic early with the Scouse Derby. But as soon as the fight settles down, I can see the fight going one way. And again, I do think I'll get to him later on. It's a 12-round fight. I've never done 12 before. I get better as the fight goes on. I fully believe that. It gets worse as the fight goes on. So I can't sit here and tell you lies. I do think I'll get to him.
So you think in the later rounds then it definitely more or less favours yourself?
Yes.
Because of your experience, because of you going to those later championship rounds?
Yeah, of course. I've done 12 rounds a few times and I just think you can't buy it. I think it'll play a big part in this fight.
And what does it mean to you bringing this fight home to Liverpool in relation to the fans, the ticket sales, the atmosphere? We already know that Liverpool's a proper boxing crowd. What can we expect from the fans, your fans that you're bringing?
The atmosphere is going to be unbelievable. It's a Scouse Derby. It'll sell out in no time. And it'll sell out in no time now because the card has just got even better. So I'm looking forward to the top night and another Scouse Derby that will win.
And apart from your fight, of course, what fight on the card are you looking forward to watching?
He's just announced 3 top fights there. Obviously, I'm looking forward to Peter McGrail's debut also. But he's just announced Ryan Charlton against Luke Willis, Troy Williamson against Ted Cheeseman's a big fight, and obviously JJ Metcalf, another Scouse, is fighting Keenan Conway. So there's big fights on the card. I'm looking forward to sitting down on Sunday and watching them all after on the court.
A tricky fight that I see ahead of yours is the Troy Williamson versus Ted Cheeseman. We all know what Ted Cheeseman's like, and he really likes to get stuck in with his fights. How do you see that fight turning out? Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough fight, a war of nutrition again, but I'm not going to pick a winner. I'm not going to pick a winner because I struggle picking a winner, to be honest with you. I think it's a very good fight, and may the best man win. I like the two of them. Absolutely. Liam, thank you for taking the time to speak to us. I know you're all talked out. Yeah. Do you want to shout out your sponsors before you get off?
No, it's alright. I'm just I forget them, that's why, honestly.
Everyone says the same thing.
I miss one out and I'll be in the shit sleep, so obviously.
Brilliant. Liam, lovely to meet you, and hopefully I'll speak to you again soon. Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.